Hello, awesome possums. Today we're going to read the story The Big Trip by Valerie Gorbachev. Our story genre will be fantasy. A fantasy is a story that could not happen in real life. As you read, look for events that could not really happen and animals who act like people. Our target skill will be to compare and contrast. How are the characters in a story alike? How are they different? Good readers compare and contrast characters to understand what they are like and why they act as they do. You can use a diagram to compare and contrast characters or ideas in a story. Before we begin reading the story, let's preview the topic, ways to travel. How can you get from one place to another? You could go by car. You could take a train. You could ride a bike. You could run, hop, or skip. What are some other ways to travel? You will read about traveling in The Big Trip. The Big Trip by Valerie Gorbachev. I am going to take a trip far away, Pig said to Goat one day. How will you go? Asked Goat. Let me think for a moment, said Pig. Maybe I will go by bike. That will be a very nice trip. Oh dear, said Goat. You could fall off a bike. Ah, said Pig. Then I will drive a car. It's not a good idea, Pig, said Goat. A car could break down. Oh, said Pig. Then I will go by horse on my trip. I'm not sure about that, said Goat. Horses can be very jumpy. Okay, said Pig. Then I am going to go by donkey cart. A donkey is very quiet. Not good, said Goat. Donkeys can be very stubborn. Then I will go by train, said Pig. Oh, Pig, said Goat. A train could get stuck in a tunnel. Good point, Goat, said Pig. Then I will fly by plane. What if the engine stops, said Goat. You'd have to parachute. True, said Pig. Then I will go by hot air balloon. The hot air balloon could have a hole, said Goat. Okay, I will not travel by land. I will not travel by air. I will go by sea, said Pig, on a ship. Oh no, exclaimed Goat. Don't do it. The ship could run into a reef when passing through a fog, or run into a heavy storm at sea. And there are sharks all around at sea, so many you couldn't count them. And you could find yourself alone on a desert island in the middle of the ocean with pirates that could come on the desert island by pirate ship. Stop! 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 Exclaimed Pig. I could fall off a bike, break down in a car, get thrown by a horse, never get there with a donkey, or get stuck on a train. I might have to parachute from a plane or from a hot air balloon, and traveling by ship could bring me many troubles. So, I will not go anywhere, said Pig. Having a big trip is a very scary thing. Unless, said Goat, looking at Pig, you go with a friend. All right, boys and girls, that was a great story. Let's talk about dialogue. The words a character says are called dialogue. Quotation marks go around the words. The word said can show who is talking. Writers use dialogue to show what characters say, think, and feel. You can tell by the dialogue that Pig and Goat take turns telling the story. As you read, think about who is talking and how the character would say the words. All right, awesome possums, let's dig deeper into compare and contrast. Goat and Pig are characters in the big trip. How are Pig and Goat different? How are they alike? You can use a diagram like this to compare and contrast things about Pig and Goat. Think about their feelings about travel, their actions, and their ideas. Let's look at this diagram. On one side I have Pig, and on the other side I have Goat. You can see here in the middle where the two circles overlap, I have an area. On this side, we'll talk about something Pig says or does. On this side, we'll talk about something that Goat says or does. In the middle, we will put something that is the same about what they say or what they do. Let's start with ship. Pig said he could travel by ship, but what did the goat say? You could run into a reef. So those are how we can compare the pig and the goat. Pig says, I could go by the ship, but goat saying, yeah, I don't think you should do that because you could run into a reef. Pig says he could go by a donkey because donkeys are quiet. But what does the goat say? Goat says, donkeys are stubborn. Pig also says he could go by bike. He says a bike would be nice. But Goat says, you could fall off a bike. Then says, well, I could go by a train. And Goat says, it could get stuck in a tunnel. Do you see how, boys and girls, how one character is saying one thing and the other character is saying something different, and how we can compare and contrast them? Pig says that he could travel by a hot air balloon, but Goat says the hot air balloon could get a hole. Well, these are the ways, boys and girls, that we contrasted Pig and Goat, how they are different. Okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to think of a way that Pig and Goat were the same. And we would put that right here in the middle of Pig and Goat, where the two circles overlap. One way that the two characters agreed that they could travel would be by going with a friend. And we put that right there in the middle of the two circles where they overlapped. And boys and girls, this is how we compared and contrasted pig and goat using a Venn diagram. Well, awesome possums, I hope you enjoyed this story. Make sure that you like this video and subscribe to my channel. New lessons are added weekly, and work on your growth mindset. And remember, all things are difficult before they get easy. You have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.